The Leo Aquarius axis is often described as the axis of the individual and the collective. Leo is said to represent the individual, while Aquarius represents society, groups, collective consciousness, and humanity as a whole. Yet this interpretation can feel incomplete because Leo is far more than the personal ego, just as Aquarius is far more than simply other people. At a deeper level, the Leo-Aquarius axis can be understood as the relationship between the individual soul and the collective soul, or even between divine will and collective will. Leo, ruled by the sun, represents the unique soul and the light that it carries. The sun is the source of illumination, vitality, consciousness, and creative expression. And Leo reflects the principle of something within the individual that wants to become fully expressed through life. Leo is not simply the declaration that I am important. It is the deeper realization that there is something that can only come through a particular soul. This is why Leo can represent far more than an individual personality. It can express itself through an artist, creator, leader, monarch, visionary, parent, or anyone who becomes a vessel for something originating within the soul. Leo does not necessarily represent hierarchy. More fundamentally, it represents centrality, radiance, and creative sovereignty. The sun does not need to dominate in order to be the center. It simply radiates because that is its nature. From this perspective, Leo can also be connected to the idea of divine will. Rather than simply asking what the ego wants, the higher Leonine question becomes what the divine wants to express through the individual soul. The individual becomes a vessel through which something greater can enter the world and take form. Aquarius represents the other side of this process. It describes what happens when individual consciousnesses become part of a greater field. Aquarius can therefore symbolize humanity, civilization, collective consciousness, shared ideals, movements, networks, and the vision of what humanity is becoming. If Leo asks what the soul has come to express, Aquarius asks what humanity is becoming together. If Leo represents the individual soul, Aquarius can represent the collective soul. The collective does not exist separately from its individuals. Humanity is made of individual souls, yet when those souls interact, something larger emerges. Ideas spread, movements form, cultures develop, shared visions take shape. Consciousness begins to operate on a scale that no single individual could create alone. Aquarius represents this greater field and the collective intelligence that emerges within it. This is why Aquarius does not necessarily mean the destruction of individuality. The deeper polarity is not simply me versus everyone else. It is my consciousness and our consciousness. This also gives the Leo-Aquarius axis another fascinating dimension: divine will and the will of the people. Leo can represent divine will becoming expressed through the individual soul, while Aquarius can represent the collective will emerging through the many. Leo asks what the divine wants to express through the individual. Aquarius asks what humanity wants to create together. This symbolism can be seen through the archetypes of the sovereign and the people. Leo represents the one who embodies a vision, while Aquarius represents the many who participate in creating a shared future. This does not necessarily refer to literal monarchy or democracy. It represents a deeper question about where will originates. Does a vision descend through a central source and become embodied by an individual, or does a vision emerge from the consciousness of the many? Neither principle is inherently superior. Both have their shadows. Leo can mistake personal desire for divine will, while Aquarius can mistake collective agreement for absolute truth and allow the will of the group to override the individuality of the soul. At their highest expressions, however, Leo and Aquarius complement one another. Leo becomes the individual who allows the highest expression of the soul to move through them. Aquarius becomes the consciousness that honors the individuality of every soul while participating in something greater than itself. Ultimately, the Leo-Aquarius axis can be understood as the relationship between the one and the many. Leo is the sun, the heart, the singular soul, and the unique creative flame. Aquarius is the constellation, the network, and the collective field created by countless souls. Leo radiates, while Aquarius resonates. Leo says, "This is what lives within me." Aquarius says, "This is what we create together." The individual influences the collective, while the collective influences the individual. A soul brings something unique into the world, and the world receives it, evolves through it, and creates a new environment in which other souls can express themselves. Seen this way, the Leo-Aquarius axis is not really a conflict between the individual and the collective. It is a meditation on how individual consciousness and collective consciousness relate to one another. It is the individual soul and the collective soul. It is divine will and collective will. It is the one and the many. It is the sun and the constellation. And perhaps the deepest question of the axis is this: how does the will of the one become expressed through the many? And how does the many ultimately participate in the will of the one? Leo reminds us that every soul carries a unique light that no other soul can express in exactly the same way. Aquarius reminds us that no soul exists entirely apart from the greater field of consciousness. Leo gives the collective its heart, while Aquarius gives that heart a greater field in which to express itself. Together, they describe the mysterious movement between the unique soul and the greater soul of humanity, between what one being carries within and what countless beings can create together.